In this video, how to reproduce large-scale artwork for print using a camera and some software, and we will try to unveil the secret why this funny guy is hopping around in front of my garage. There will be a lot of tech talk in this clip, so we put all the facts into a PDF file, which you can download for free from ShadingAgent.com. Once you've finished your artwork, whether that is a drawing or a painting or whatever, if you want to go public, the work really begins. With time, money, peace of soul and creativity invested, it would be a pity if the results of your reproduction wouldn't be as good as they can be. There are several solutions for large-scale reproductions out there. Some of them cost 6-digit amounts, and I also think their proud owners expect them to break down right after scan number 1000, because they charge 3-digit numbers for a single scan. If you are not a museum, I am not, even if I look like one, then it can be hard to afford such sums. The two drawings here were reproduced using a stitching software and a lower mid-range DSLR, a Nikon D5300. On flatbed scanners, even with really fancy software, contrasts and paper structures are seriously messed up. Besides that, my drawings are too large for an A3 size flatbed, even if I turn them and make partial scans. To get a reasonable quality original size print, there are some specifications to meet, so duck and cover, here comes some theory. Most printing techniques will require you to deliver a 300 dpi file. Dpi in this case means that for every printed inch you need 300 pixels in your image. This value may differ in your special case, so check with your printing service. For my regular format, this means that I need 5917 by 8870 pixels. This equals 52.5 megapixels and is quite a lot. My camera delivers 4000 by 6000 pixels, which means I have to chop my image in pieces to get the job done. The changes in point of view, angle and size of the single images don't matter too much right now. It is far more important that during the entire set of shots for one image the light conditions remain the same. Those images were taken at around 10 o'clock in the morning, and it was a rather bright day. Once they are on my computer, I separate the JPEG from the Nikon RAW files. Because they provide ready-made correction presets for pretty much every lens-camera combination, I use DxO to process my RAW files to TIFF. Of course I can fine-tune color and contrast in DxO, but first of all DxO corrects chromatic aberration and geometric distortion. Geometrical distortion is just one mistake your camera can and will make, but it's the most visible. The target we use here to simulate that effect can be downloaded from our website. DxO has a nice batch processing. If your computer is slower using DxO, this is because what you see here is a time-lapse. Putting the pre-processed pictures together in a regular image editing software would be a very time-consuming task, most likely with questionable results. I use Autopano Giga to automate this process. Panorama software expects the images to be stitched together to be taken from one point, with the camera turning around the nodal point, the middle of the front of the image sensor. What we have is but images that were taken from multiple viewpoints. Until now, I only found one software which is affordable and can do that, and that is Autopano Giga. Attention, the cheaper Autopano without the Giga cannot do that. The dark spots here in Explorer are images from my garage door. I took them to separate one set of images from another. So inside AutoPanoGiga it's an easy task to get all the images for one set together and load them into the workspace. The PDF file we have online contains step-by-step workflow instructions plus the settings you need. AutoPanoGiga allows to run multiple panoramas in batch mode, and that's what I'm doing here. The detection process, depending on how many images you have in each panorama, how big the images are, and how many panoramas you have, takes somewhere between minutes and hours. That depends. In the edit window I define the horizontal and vertical lines. This is easy here because I left the edges of the image free when I took the photos. Once I'm happy, I click the green hook and the first part of the magic happens. Keep in mind that this is a preview render. The final render will look quite fantastic. A first rough cropping can be done right in the edit window. For all the stitching jobs I do the same, then I start my batch and leave for lunch. If you are watching this video in full HD, this is a 1:1 representation of the AutoPanoGiga file. Unlike with a flatbed scanner, the camera left the paper structure intact. The large file size allows for retouching, optimization and resampling without losing quality. For the retouching and resampling work, as well as for the optimization, I tend to use Corel Photo Paint. Any other reasonable image processing software will do as well, including the free GIMP. Actually, the only thing I had to do here was to remove some spots and let my magnets disappear. For both jobs I just use a clone tool. Before I resample the image to the final print size, I work just a little on contrast, saturation and brightness. For my taste, the adaptive unsharp mask in Corel Photo Paint is the best in the market. I use that right after the downsampling. While you watch me working up there, a few concluding words. If you don't want to buy a camera, ask around. A friend or relative may have one that does the job, and they may even help you take the photos. If you don't want to buy AutoPanoGiga for around $200 or so, Google for panorama photography forums or look for photo clubs in your area. Chances are good you are lucky and find someone who runs the job for you. If you have no luck at all and just want help with the stitching, you still can contact me on the ShadingAgent website. Also, if you stumble over another cheaper stitching solution, please let me know. I was searching a while for the multiple viewpoint feature and could only come up with AutoPanoGiga. Well there, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Self-made, high-resolution reproduction for print. Thanks for watching.